Alright, so here we're going into recordings, and yeah, we're going to have to put the spotlight on Dalton Harris. Not sure I recorded him before, but I have mentioned him in conversation online at least. Yeah, the guy that won the X Factor X Factor UK competition like 4 years ago. And then, but good singer, however. Fortunately, we're going to have to kind of bring Dalton to the front of the congregation, because yeah, I'm going to be side-eyeing the dude a little bit, and as regards to ongoing conflict in Ukraine. So let's get into it. So Dalton Harris, the 2010 Digicel Rising Star and 2018 X Factor UK winner, will be featured on the concert for Ukraine in support of UNICEF. Initiative being spearheaded by Andrew McLean and Robin Cousins will take place on March 28th, which is basically next week, at the Royal Hippodrome Theatre, Eastbourne, London. And then blah blah blah. It just goes on to tell about how Russia or Ukraine is the agreed victims, and that he was and that we should all bend the knee and pray, give our regards, sympathy to them. And yeah, what if you know my commentary on Ukraine? I've told you I'm not going to do that. And yeah, it just goes on to talk about what Dalton Harris's accolades, and yeah, blah blah blah. It doesn't really concern me. So anything I'm gonna ask Brother Dalton, like, this is not really me beating up on dude, but yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him one very obvious question. Do you feel that same? Are you aware of the racism in Ukraine? Are you aware how the black migrants and people who are living there, for the most part, treated? Because I know the imbeciles are going to talk about that they've never received racial treatment from Ukrainians on their level, which is bullshit. I'm going to say it right out the gate. How does Dalton Harris feel about all these reports of these African and these other black black civilians or people who are in Ukraine being treated as they've been trying to get out of Ukraine, as Russians are basically turn this into a real time war movie? Where does Dalton Harris stand in that? And I know that Dalton Harris, I'm pretty sure he's aware, but I understand that, hey, I'm making money by doing what I'm doing, so I ain't trying to fuck up my money by saying something that's going to get me, that's going to hit my pockets. Because best believe a lot of the people I know that organization he's doing it for and this are going to be looking at Dalton Harris and says, okay, yeah, you're supposed to be singing and cutting a jig for this relief to help the Ukrainians. I don't really all that other stuff, unpleasant stuff. Unpleasant means that, hey, stuff that we choose not to get aired out. Yeah, keep that to yourself, or just pretend it is make believe, like the Tooth Fairy and Neverland. Yeah, just keep all of that out the side. Don't talk about the racism that's in Ukraine. And yeah, I'm not saying so that Dalton Harris is going to say anything, like I said. And things, I'm going to be honest and say, like, if you want to feel sorry for Ukraine, I'm not bashing anybody who does that. I'm not also asking you to to also tell the whole truth. Just say, yeah, what's happening to these civilians in Ukraine is bad. What's also happening to the people who look like that, me or Dalton Harris, is also bad, and we can't really say. And the whole truth has to be told, and that also has to be called out. And let's bear in mind, before Vladimir Putin went on his James Bond villain antics, yeah, there was racism in Ukraine before that, and I've talked about it in that other video I've done before. And yeah, it does shows you that, hey, this is something that has been going on. People don't like to talk about it, and if anybody tries to disbelieve that, hey, there's going to be that this is all made up, and there have been some morons online that basically said that all the incidents of racism within Ukraine, some propaganda made by Russians, was the same thing they did when Kamala Harris in the States was called up for her shady track record by the black grassroots community. Doesn't believe recycling that same talking point right here. But yeah, honestly, to Dalton Harris and to any black people who are just going to try wants to put on the cape for Ukraine, yeah, yeah, we're going to look at you sideways and so on. And yeah, I could just honestly if Dalton Harris is just doing this for money, but I'm just wondering what does he feel about the racism in Ukraine? And yeah, it's not the Russians that are that are spearheading this. I mean, they're exploiting the situation that's already there. But yeah, if Dalton Harris does is not really going to talk about the racism that goes on against black people in Ukraine, yeah, bro, I'm going to be looking at you and all the other Negroes who are trying to put the cape on. Yeah, we're going to be looking at you side eyes, and that's pretty much what I have to say. So it's not really beat up on Dalton Harris, but yeah, I don't think any black person, even though I know that you're probably trying to do it to keep money in your pockets, you really shouldn't be put on the cape for Ukraine. Yeah, you can feel bad for a personal, individual level. I mean, that's terrible when innocent people are hurt. But at the same time, many of those Ukrainians, not all, would not be shedding any tears for any of us if we're on the receiving end. And many of them, not all, many of them have shown that, and that's what a lot of people like Dalton Harris need to take into consideration. And that's all I have to say. So this is for State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my YouTube pages, Miles Goods and Fern, Magic Productions, Real Thoughts and Miles. Peace.